SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we got an update out of Verizon, couple of bits and pieces of news, some disclosures from the executive team from the networking side. You guys know we're big on networking here, so we'll bring you that news and some commentary on it today in this video. First, I do want to let you guys know we have the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators, you could do so directly using that link. It's in the description. You guys know how much I love coffee. And then also, if you want to try Mint Mobile, our partner, save yourself some money on your wireless, get a great deal on wireless, and then also support the channel in the process. The link is in the description. Our partner link is there. All right, so I found this article. This one is from Monica Alvin and Fierce, and I'll link it for you guys here. But I want to just kind of point you guys to a very specific segment of this article. All right, so when you go back to read it, this is kind of the section I'm talking about. The caption is frenzied build out. So this is C-band plus mmWave, kind of, sort of. All right. Verizon is putting up C-band gear on basically every site, between now and when that build is going to be done. I personally believe they're going to upgrade every single site with this radio gear. It belongs on all these tower sites. All right. You got these national spectrum licenses. This is a full power band, N77, the C-band, and it's great. It's incredible. And with the gear that they're using, the massive MIMO technology, it allows it to really be a difference maker. The range is incredible. The indoor propagation, fantastic. And even when you look at things like signal quality and all that, it is overachieved. It's been excellent. In my estimation, I don't really feel like Verizon needs to densify their network for the sake of coverage so much. I'm sure there are some spots where they lack coverage and they could use, an additional tower site or a small cell or something like that. But when it comes to the capacity side of things, this stuff is plenty good, right? They currently have just 60 megahertz on air in most places. In some places, it's 100 megahertz because they early cleared it with satellite operators. But more spectrum is on the way. So combining the new or the rest of their C-band spectrum assets along with the upgrades that are going to, again, continue to expand across the country, we're talking about places that are going to have 200 megahertz, 160 megahertz, 140, right? Plus everything else. It really is, something that has made a big impact for them. All right, now he specifically spoke to the massive MIMO technology. I can tell you every Samsung radio and antenna they're putting up here in Cleveland, any Samsung market is getting massive MIMO gear. Those C-band radios, which are confirmed to do 200 megahertz of spectrum, right, as well as Ericsson, they're future-proof and future-ready. They're talking about getting 200 million pops covered by the end of the first quarter, so that's kind of an update. I know we've been expecting that. I don't know when that disclosure was supposed to come, but I guess they haven't gotten there yet, maybe. I'm not really sure, but it has been a difference maker. So confirmed, we do know something now about the Samsung radio gear being 200 megahertz capable. We also know that they are going to be upgrading only massive MIMO moving forward, so that's great. All right, and kind of the last piece of this article that I want to discuss is mmWave. Everybody knows that Verizon has been focusing on C-band and N77. So at some point, when do they kind of pivot back to mmWave? It would make sense for them, as we've heard the commentary from them, that they realize and they know that mmWave is an important piece for them moving forward. So the quote here from their VP of Global Technology, quote, "We see mmWave playing a significant role in super dense environments, and it's going to start playing an even more prominent role." All right, so I'm guessing that, during this whole C-band deployment, seeing the mmWave kind of take a back seat makes sense. But once that C-band deployment is done, which we're expecting this year moving into next year, they're probably going to go back pretty heavy on the mmWave. In markets where they have really high market share, in the metro areas, urban dense, right? And probably situations that call for it, anywhere there's an arena, anywhere there's a stadium or a concert venue, anywhere where they can actually leverage their, fixed wireless access 5G home internet, it makes sense. Chan, who is one of the executives over at Verizon, was quoted as saying, "C-band is like an easy button. Of course we'll run there." He's speaking about C-band, the 3.7 gigahertz, right? Lower frequency. mmWave frequencies are closer to the, 28 gigahertz, 39 gigahertz range. He said that's kind of why we shifted a lot of focus and investment on C-band first, bigger bang for the buck. You go after those things when you have the opportunity. Once you run out of those opportunities, you go right to the next spectrum band. So it sounds to me like they're putting their faith in the C-band for now, and then once that's done, they're immediately going to be shifting back to millimeter wave, which makes me very happy. And the reason is because I'm a believer that you cannot properly network without the full band approach. The mid-band, obviously you want it dense, you want a tight grid, you want all your MIMO gear up there, right? 10 gig backhaul, all those things. But millimeter wave is a necessity, and I'm a true believer that it should be up on most tower sites. Very few exceptions, because we're seeing huge advancements in millimeter wave. It's gotten better, leaps and bounds every year, and I think it's going to be a big piece moving forward. Are some carriers ready to do it? Sure. Are some carriers not ready to do it? Absolutely. But in my estimation, the best network is going to be the most dynamic network to properly support the needs of your customers. It all depends on your market share. It all depends on the use cases. And in some places, you just got a lot of customers using a lot of data, and millimeter wave can keep those mid-band channels free and clear in a lot of instances, right? I'm a firm believer that they are definitely probably going to be going back to millimeter wave in a much more dense build. So I'm excited about that. It gets me pretty amped up about their future network build. What do you guys think of their commentary? What do you think of the kind of the disclosures from the Verizon side of things? You like what you hear? You got some concerns? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links are in the description for all things going on with the channel. Big shout out to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters for making content on this channel possible. Don't forget, if you want to support the SMT, Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description. And if you want to try out a new wireless service, get a great deal on your wireless, our partner link is there, Mint Mobile. Thanks for watching, folks. We shall see you all on the next video. Peace.